Okay, so wilderness skills, week 2. Welcome to Guilds. So today we are going to be talking about safety tips for when we're hiking and what to do if you get lost. Okay, so first of the safety tips are buddy system. So should you ever go hiking alone? No, never go hiking alone. So we should always have a buddy with us. That's called a buddy system. So always take somebody with you. Even if it's just a short walk, it's really important to have somebody go with you. The second safety tip is carry a whistle. So it's always a good idea to carry a whistle with you. I know some of you guys have whistles built into your backpacks, right? And sometimes you guys have whistles that you wear around your neck. So there's all different types of whistles. And you should only blow a whistle in case of an emergency. So whistles, when people hear whistles, they often think that there's trouble around and that somebody needs help. So it's really important to not play around with your whistle and only use it if you have an emergency. Another safety tip is to be prepared with your backpack. So just like last week, do you remember all the stuff that we packed in our backpacks? Our water, our food, whistle, jacket. You should always have those things with you. And then another safety tip for hiking is to stay in sight. So if you're going with a buddy, you should always stay in sight. You shouldn't go off by yourself. And when you're with a grown-up, you should make sure that you can always see them. So if you get ahead of the grown-up, then you should stop and wait for the grown-up till you can see them. And if you get behind the grown-up, then you should catch up. So that's what it means, stay in sight. That's a safety tip. Some more tips are you should always stay on trails. So if you ever see like a tiny little trail, sometimes there's trails like that deers make. And these are called ghost trails, like where you can barely see them. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like when you can barely see a trail. That's called a ghost trail. And that means only a few people have walked on it. So ghost trails, they usually don't lead to anywhere specific. So a marked trail leads to something. A ghost trail, which is really light and hard to see, doesn't really lead to anything. And it can confuse hikers, and it can also damage plants. Because if you're walking on a trail or a ghost trail, so it's not really meant to be there, you could accidentally step on plants and stuff that could be hurtful for the environment, right? We don't want to damage plants. So we got to stay on marked trails. You should always wait at trail forks. So what a trail fork is have you guys ever been on a trail and then it splits into two different directions? Does that ever happen to you guys? So that's called a fork. So when a trail splits into two different directions, you should always wait for everyone in the group to get there. So you should always wait for everybody to get there at the trail or at the trail fork before you choose a way so that the group stays together. Can you guys still hear me?
You cut out and then you went back.
Yeah. Okay. If I cut out, put up your hand like a stop, like stop. Like spread your hands wide and then put stop, and then I'll go back.
Okay.
Okay. So another safety tip is you should always wear bright colors. So if you wear like brown or black, sometimes it can be hard to see. But if you wear something bright like yellow or red or pink, like something that stands out, then your grown-ups will be able to see you easier. So you should always be careful around water is another safety tip. So never get water out of a stream or a river or a lake without an adult. You should always wait for them. And also sometimes slippery rocks can be around water because the water will make the rock slippery. So you got to really be careful around water. Never go around water without an adult. And also, when you're in the forest or when you're hiking, you should never play hide and seek, because while hide and seek is super fun, it's when you're in the forest, you can get lost easy. So you should play hide and seek at home, but not when you're in the woods. Yeah, Sam?
So I go to Gray Eagle with my cousins, and we play this game called Infection Tag.
Yeah.
At night. So we will stay sometimes in the area, but not go too far off the area.
Okay, so do you guys have like clear marked boundaries of where you can and can't go? That's good. So you can do that. Just make sure that you're very, very clear that you know where you should go, and you like know the air. It sounds like you know Gray Eagle, you go there a lot. So you should just always make sure that you have a clear marked boundary and don't go outside of those boundaries, because it does sound like a fun game. We just want to be super careful when we're in the woods playing games like that, because that's sometimes how people get lost. Okay, so we are going to take a break from our screen and do an activity. So this is going to test, yeah, Sam?
That was a stop sign.
Oh, stop sign because I froze. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. So what I was saying was we're going to take a break from our screen. And we're going to do an activity. So this is going to help us remember what those safety tips are. So do you guys remember what we just talked about, all the safety tips? Yeah? Okay, so what we're going to do is you guys are going to choose one of those safety tips to make a sign. So you can make a sign from drawing it, or if you have clay and you want to make a sign, or if you have paint, or whatever you want to do. So you can do a sidewalk chalk, but I know it's smoky where most of you guys live, so probably stay inside and draw or paint or do clay or whatever you want. So we are going to take 15 minutes, and then you guys can come back and share your sign. So you can you can close your camera and just come back in 15 minutes if you'd like. So come back at 2:15. And remember all the safety tips that we talked about, and I'll do a quick review of them so you remember. So it's the buddy system, carry a whistle, prepare your backpack, stay in sight, stay on marked trails, don't go on ghost trails, wait at trail forks, wear bright colors, be careful around water, and no hide and seek. So you can choose whatever one you want, whatever safety tip, and make a sign. And come back at 2:15. Yeah, Jack?
A lot of people just left.
Wait, what are we doing?
So you know the safety tips that we just talked about, Jack? For when you're hiking? Yeah. So we're gonna make a sign. So if you can color a sign or paint a sign just on a piece of paper or wherever you want it to be to help you remember what these safety tips are. So some of the
how much safety tips?
Just one. Just choose one. So the safety tip that helps keep you safe when you're hiking. So remember, it's the buddy system, carry a whistle, bring your backpack, stay in sight, You can choose any of these ones to make a sign to help people remember to stay safe when they're hiking. Does that make sense, Jack?
Okay.
So just one tip. You don't have to do all of them, just only one, whatever one you want to do. Okay, so go ahead and tell us what you drew, McLean. Hold up your picture and tell us what safety tip you drew.
So, my safety tip that I drew was water. The top says water. And then I have a picture of a stream at the bottom.
Awesome. And what do you want to remember about water when you're hiking?
There's slippery rocks.
There's slippery rocks. And also always have an adult with you when you go around water, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Good job. Excellent. Is there anyone else that's finished that would like to share? Jack, would you like to share?
I just have a question. How do you spell bright again?
Bright. The bright is BRIGHT. And I also put it up on the screen right here, Jack, so you can see.
Okay.
You see that? Wear bright colors. Okay. Who else has done that would like to share? You guys can take a few more minutes if you need that. Poppy, are you finished with yours? Would you like to share?
Sure. I drew a picture of someone. I was drawing a picture of a lake with one slippery rock on it. It's all green because like the algae. And then a person walking on it and slipping.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's just like McLean did to show that you should stay away from slippery rocks and always take an adult with you when you're around water, right? Nice. I like the action that you drew of a person slipping on the rocks. Good job, Poppy. Ellery, would you like to share?
So there's me and my mom, but she's just behind me. And then the two is a ghost trail. And we're staying on the black trail.
Amazing. I love that. So you drew two different tips, huh? One was to stay away from ghost trails and stay on the main trail, and the other one was to wait at the fork for the adult, right? So that you guys stay together.
And we have backpacks and everything we need in our backpacks.
Wow, so 3 safety tips right there. Nice job, Ellery.
And then we're wearing bright colors too.
Oh my goodness, 4. Awesome. Good job, Ellery. Got all of it.
A whistle right now.
You're going to draw a whistle too? Perfect. You're just checking all of them off the list. Good job. Thanks for sharing, Ellery. Anyone else finish that would like to share? Looks like Cameron and Mina are away. We'll wait for them. You guys are good artists. While we're waiting for them, did you guys already know all those safety tips for hiking? Or was there anything that you learned new?
I learned something new to wear bright colors, but I think besides that, I knew everything.
Cool, McLean. Good job. Yeah, Ellery?
I knew all the stuff you had to wear, but then I didn't know about ghost trails or fork trails or the other things.
Awesome. I'm glad you learned something new, and way to go that you already knew those things, a lot of them. Jack?
Can I show my picture?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Okay, so this one is lost on the woods. It was like trying to, I don't know, find something or something. And these are the parents, and they were still walking on the trail.
Oh, so the kids are staying put and they're staying on the main trail so that their parents can find them?
No, this kid is lost, and the parents thought the kid was gonna come back, so they're still walking on the trail.
They're walking on the trail looking for him?
Mhm.
Very good. And I bet that you're staying on the main trail, right? Not going off on any ghost trails?
Yeah, but this was like, I don't know, playing a game or something, a kid. It's not wearing a bright color.
Oh, yeah. Dang. So that kid got lost because he wasn't wearing a bright color and he was playing hide and go seek in the woods.
And the shirt was blending into the trees, but I didn't really want to color in the trees.
That's perfect, Jack. Like, I love that you put the brown on him so that, like, to show that he's hard to see because he blends in with the trees. Yeah, very good. So your safety tip was don't play hide and seek in the woods. Very good, Jack. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Mina. Hi, Cameron. Would you guys like to share your safety tip picture? Cameron, would you like to share your what safety tip you drew?
No.
You don't want to share? Okay, that's all right. Mina, do you want to share? Okay, maybe Mina is still working on hers. All right, so the next thing that we're going to learn is, so we talked about safety tips. First of all, can you guys hear me still? Yes? Okay. So we talked about safety tips for hiking. So nobody expects to get lost, right? So we're going to talk about what to do if you do get lost. So we're going to learn an acronym. An acronym means it's a word that stands for something. So in this case, it's STOP. So STOP stands for stop, think, observe, plan. So the S in STOP stands for stop. The T in STOP stands for think. The O in STOP stands for observe, and the P in STOP stands for plan. So we're going to go through each of those. So the first one is stop. As soon as you realize that you have lost your way, you should stop and realize that you got lost. You should not go wander around anymore. Just stay put. So stop exactly where you are. Because if you keep wandering when you're lost, it's super easy to get turned around and start walking in circles. So it's better to just stay where you are. The next thing that you should do after you stop is to think. So you should think about the things you have that can help you. So the first thing is, if you have a whistle, you should blow your whistle 3 times. Through blowing it 3 times lets people know that you're in trouble or that you're lost. And then you should wait for a second and then blow it again 3 times. So keep doing that until you get found. Okay, so after you stop, after you think, you should observe. So observe means to look around. So you should look around to where you are. Are you next to a lake? Are you on a trail? Do you see any fresh footprints on the trail? Do you see a mountain or a weird looking tree or a big rock? So seeing something that looks familiar, maybe you see a weird looking tree and be like, oh, I remember that weird looking tree was near my camp. So then you walk to that tree and be like, okay, oh, I remember that big rock was even closer to my camp. So then you want to look for things that you remember seeing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, Celeste, do you have a question?
I wanted to ask, I just got back. Were we supposed to make our signs just now?
Oh, yeah. So whoever wanted to share their sign, shared their sign. Would you like to share your drawing and which safety tip you did?
Sure.
Okay.
This is my sign. It just means it's marking a hiking trail. It's just something that sometimes you would find just when you're at the start of the hike and you just got to the very start of the hike, and then you sometimes see the sign to mark that it's a hiking trail with the person with a walking stick.
Oh, that is excellent. Good job, Celeste. That looks just like the sign that I see when I go hiking. And so your safety tip was to stay on marked trails. Awesome. Good job, Celeste. Thank you for stopping and sharing. So now what we're going over, Celeste, is what to do if you get lost. So when you get lost, you want to stop where you are, think about where you are, and if you see, and then observe. So see if you see anything that's familiar. And then the P in stop stands for plan. So if you blow your whistle, after you blow your whistle, because that's what you have in your backpack and you realize that you're lost, and you observe your surroundings, you look around and you don't see anything familiar, then you want to come up with a plan. So if you want to think about okay, is it going to be getting dark soon? What should I do? Because if it gets dark, what comes with darkness is cold, right? It can start to get cold. So you want to find some place to sit. So if it's starting to get dark, you want to look for some place that you can sit and be comfortable. You want to make sure that you're not sitting on the ground, like straight on the ground, because that you'll get even colder. So you want to sit up off of something. So it might be on a rock or on a fallen tree, or on a pile of leaves. And when you're doing this, when you come up with a plan of what you're going to do next, you should always keep blowing your whistle. And how many times should you blow your whistle? Three times, because that means that you're in trouble, right? So it goes 3 times. So right in a row. If I could whistle, I would, but I think you guys can hear me going. You want to whistle fast and 3 times, and then wait a minute and then keep doing that. Okay, so we do not have, this activity was going to be practicing when you guys get lost, but since you guys, it's not, like, since it's smoky outside, we're not going to do this activity because I don't want you guys to breathe in smoke. So you guys can just think about this, or maybe share it with a sibling or a grown-up in the house later today about what STOP stands for. So let's review it. I'm going to go back because this is, you guys can read this. Okay. So when in the word stop, what does the S stand for? McLean?
Like stop, realize where you are, and realize that you're lost.
Awesome. Yes. So once you realize that you're lost, you should stop. The S stands for stop. What does the T stand for? You guys remember what the T stands for?
I do.
Okay, Poppy, what does the T stand for?
Think.
Think. And what does that mean? What should you think about?
You should think about where you are.
Think about yes, where you are, and what else should you think about?
I forgot.
You should think about what's in your backpack that can help you, right? Or what you're wearing that can help you. Like a whistle, right? Okay. What does the O stand for? Celeste.
It stands for observe, to observe your surroundings, and maybe you can remember some stuff that can help you find your way back.
Exactly. Nice. Good job paying attention. Exactly. So the O stands for observe. Look around, see if you see anything familiar. Okay, and the P, what does the P stand for? Who's going to be the last one to answer? See if I see McLean has her hand up. Is there anyone else that hasn't answered that knows what the P stands for? Jack, do you remember what the P stands for? Okay, let's hear it. What does it stand for? You got this.
It stands for
Make a
plan.
A plan, yes, exactly. So make a plan. You look around and think, okay, is it gonna get dark? Do I have a whistle? Is my whistle working? And you wanna come up with a plan. So you wanna find somewhere soft or somewhere comfortable to sit. Where should you not sit when you're waiting? Do you guys remember? Yeah, Jack.
On a rock, maybe on like leaves in a pile, or like a fallen tree.
Yes, exactly. So on a rock or on a pile of leaves or on a fallen tree, We want to make sure that you're up off of the ground because the ground will suck your heat and make you colder. So you want to make sure that you're sitting up off of the ground. Awesome, guys. You guys really paid attention and did great making your signs, and that really helps ingrain that into your brains to remember to stay safe when you draw it out and when you repeat what stop means. So do you guys have any questions about what we learned about if you get lost or safety tips? Any questions about that? Don't see any hands raised. Excellent job. Next, on Thursday, what we're going to be learning about is things to help you if you get lost. So we talked about what to do if you get lost. We're going to talk about things to help you if you get lost. We're also going to be doing an activity. I'm really excited about this one. How to create a survival bed. So you guys are going to make a bed out of stuff outside. And then also how to build a quick shelter. So we're going to be doing more like hands-on stuff, moving and making stuff. It's going to be fun. Okay, well, that is the end of guilds for today. Thank you guys for participating. You guys did excellent. And
Bye.
Okay, bye. Have a great rest of your day.
I just want to say that we have a little shelter out in our backyard. It's like made out of wood, and it's sort of like the shape of a bike jump.
It's in the shape of a... Bye, McLean. Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah, it's in the shape of a bike jump.
Bye. Poppy,
It's in the shape of a bike jump.
That's amazing. How did you guys build it?
We did it.
You didn't? It just was there?
Yeah, because we have a national forest in our backyard.
That's cool. So what is it made out of?
Just wood.
Do you know who made it?
No.
It just was there?
Yeah.
Can you go inside it?
Yeah, but you probably shouldn't. It looks like it's been out there for a couple winters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might be unsafe to go inside. It might collapse on you. Cool. That's really cool. I would love to see that sometime. If you can take a picture or something, that would be cool to show me at school.
I guess I could.
Yeah.
Bye, I'm going to leave now.
Okay, bye, Poppy. Have a good day.
You too.